Hello, and welcome to Remove Before Launch. And more importantly, and finally, welcome to my new car, the Honda Civic Type R, the FK8 to be precise. Not brand new, this is the 2017 model, but even so, it is superb. That's pretty much the video done now. Bye. No, the car is proving to be phenomenal. I will explain, but I'm kind of lost for words at the moment because this is the first mildly dry, sun's out day, and the first time I've actually driven the car in a little bit of anger, and it is sublime. I'm starting to realise what all the raving and all the reviews and all the accolades were about. I don't know how else to say. It's just an awesome car, and I've only had it a little while. I've only done about 300 miles, and I'm blown away by it. It is just phenomenal. Yeah, it is. Now, the weird thing is, this was never on my list. I was never gonna. I never even had a Civic Type R as a consideration. I always dismissed it, I'll be completely honest. Didn't like the looks. When it first came out, I was always like, no chance. Look at the state of that. And now I have one. So there you go, the old saying of never say never. Yeah, it's quite poignant in this case. Now, anyone who's watching the other videos, this has replaced my long-standing 135i Coupe. Sacrilege, I know, because I've gone back to a front-wheel drive car from a rear-wheel drive, front-engined, 6-cylinder, twin-turbo. You know, people will be questioning my sanity and saying I'm going backwards. But these cars, actually, this car has its identical torque figure to the 135, and it's got about 10 brake horsepower more. And it feels it. It does feel absolutely manic. Again, the 135 off the line was always awesome, and this does, you know, it's going to scrabble to get off the line as quick, and it shows in the stats, you know, it's getting towards a second 60 slower, or not far off. The in-gear time zone, this once it's going, you got a tiny bit of lag, you know, but nothing noticeable. You know, it's about 2,500 by the time you know, it's really kicked in and the turbo's kicked in and got spooled up. I know from the 135 is about 1,800, etc. So it hasn't got quite that instant zip, but once it's going and it's spooled up, and it is going, and it absolutely pulls like a train all the way through. Now, what I also love is, bearing in mind this is a turbo engine, and in comparison to some other turbo engines and turbo cars I've driven, you tend to find you're running out of puff. You're not necessarily bothering to redline it. Now, this, I find, this has got a red line of 7,000, and you want to take it to 7,000, which is great. It does want to be rinsed out, and it feels strong all the way through. So once you've got over that initial bit of lag, it no longer feels like a turbo engine. It feels absolutely superb, and it is so quick. Now, what also makes this car really quick is not just the strong engine. I mean, noise aside and everything else, it is a strong engine. It pulls really well, but it's everything else that's it's coupled with. So you've got this superb manual gear change, which is expected of Type R's now. You know, it's absolutely superb, really slick, really nice gear change. It's also got the rev matching technology when you're down changing. I thought I was going to turn it off straight away. I thought, oh, that'll be it, I'll just be down. I can do that myself. No, it's staying on. It's superb. It never gets it wrong. I can't beat it, and it makes me feel like a driving god. So that's staying. It really works. It was really impressive. So the gear change, awesome, as you kind of expect with Type R's. but also to everything else. The brakes are superb. Now, I haven't driven this in anger. As I said, it's the winter. If I had it my way and I wasn't making a video, I wouldn't be out in this weather. It's actually quite nice now, but it's raining, there's gravel, there's snow, there's ice, there's everything. It's just been awful. And this has got, like I said, this has got your summer tyres on it and everything. But the brakes have been phenomenal. The grip levels are unbelievable considering the conditions. And the steering is absolutely gorgeous. It is so precise, so just perfect. So, on the wrong road, this car is superb. On the right road, the car is just incredible. I mean, it's absolutely awesome. And when you got the engine on the boil and the turbo spooled up, yeah, I mean, this is just such a good car. I mean, I'm only learning it now, but the confidence I've got already, and just the grip, unbelievable. I honestly, I've read that people say, oh, it's got this grip that's just, it's beyond belief, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, of course. I can't believe it. It's for a front wheel drive car like this, to throw around like it does, to grip like it does, it is slightly mind-boggling. I don't know how they've done it, and I know this is something that's been mentioned on this car a few times, and I'm always like, take this stuff with a pinch of salt until I've tried it myself. Yeah, I mean, it just grips, and it just, it's corny. It's always that, it like corners like it's on rails. Me. It really does, actually. So I'm going to say it. It corners like it's on rails. It's unbelievable. On just that little blast there, phenomenal. I've loved my 135. It's a superb little car. The performance, bang for buck, and everything is amazing. But at the end of the day, that's a car that's old technology. And it's not until you get into something like this that you start to realise how things have moved on. And even in what is a reasonably big car, and it's down a couple of cylinders and everything else, but it shows the technology of how performance has improved in smaller capacity engines, how the brakes are, the technology there is phenomenal, how the chassis, the development, the handling, just everything. And we're all in fear of like new cars, with the way they've changed the steering setup and everything's becoming more, more assistance, more gadgets, more this, more that, and is it kind of taking away from the driver pleasure? And then Honda produced something like this, and you go, all this modern tech developed correctly makes the cars ridiculously good. Now, when it comes to styling, I can understand why it gets some criticism. I personally like the front end. I think the front end looks quite nice and aggressive with the scoop and everything else. The front three-quarter view looks good. But let's address the back, because at the end of the day, it's not pretty, is it? It's not an attractive rear end. Now, it's grown on me, and that's because what I've learned about this car is it's all very functional. So it does actually generate downforce, and quite a lot of it. And if you look at the little fins along the top of the roof, that does direct feed airflow onto the spoiler. So it does actually do something. When I know that a car, a bit like some McLarens, there's some McLarens out there that I think look lovely, and there's others that I'm not so sure about. But then you realise it's all been kind of honed and developed for maximum performance and downforce and airflow and everything else. And that's kind of what's happened here, and I can justify it in my mind and find a car more attractive when I realise it's more about function. And at the end of the day, I don't have to look at it. It's the person behind. So, what the hell. But yeah, I can understand why it gets criticism. I can understand it's not a beautiful car, but it has, I think, in my mind, its own sort of beauty in the fact that it's functional and it's aggressive. And when you press on in this car, you realise that it's all doing something and it's doing it well. It's usually at this point I would pull over and bid you all a fond farewell, but I'm not going to, because we have the shiny thing in the sky and it has been out for weeks. In fact, I haven't driven this car on dry roads. It's always been wet or damp. So I'm going to carry on and make the most of this, because this is absolutely superb and I am loving it. And roll on the spring and summer, because this is going to be superb and this car is only going to get better and better. It's just phenomenal. I really appreciate you watching, guys. Please give us a comment, give us your feedback as well. Let me know your thoughts on the car. Do you like them? Do you not? Do you have one? How are you getting on with it? Would you buy one, or would the looks put you off? Let me know your thoughts. Really appreciate your feedback. But please give us a like and subscribe. It really helps build the channel. Need your help where I can get it. Thanks very much for watching. I'm Tim. This is Removed Before Launch. Catch you soon.